Good morning, Flosstube. I'm Melva and you're watching Stitching with Melva. This is a channel about cross stitch, so I hope that's something you enjoy and you'll come spend some time with me. Welcome to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you. And if you're just finding me for the first time, I appreciate you as well. Please know that this is a safe space for you and I hope you see something that you enjoy. Sorry it took me so long to get back to doing another video. July was a very, very hard month for me, and I hope you'll just indulge me just a little bit so I can tell you about it. The first part of July, just after Canada Day, we went to visit my mom who lives in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, which is probably about 6 hours away where I am in Edmonton, Alberta. It was a very hard trip for me. Some of you may already know this, but I was in a major car accident, and now traveling is very uncomfortable for me, and I need to take lots of rest. So I could only drive for 2 hours before my legs started cramping up so bad that I needed a rest and needed to be the passenger. So we went there, and my mom was quite unwell. We ended up having to call the ambulance and then the next day take her to the doctor. So it was very stressful. And then when we got home, probably less than a week, she landed in hospital for 3 weeks. So it was very distressing for me being so far away from her. I do have a sister that lives in Saskatoon as well as her family. So my niece and nephew and their families were instrumental in helping Mom. She is actually back at home now and doing a lot better. But again, I don't like being that far away from her. And now knowing that I can't make the trip on my own was very hard for me. As well as in July, I got the stomach flu, which was out of the blue and completely terrible. I also had a lot of really bad pain days. So I do attend a once a month stitching group that I love those ladies. We spend a Sunday, a whole day together, and the lady that hosts us makes us amazing lunches, and we have snacks and just a good chit chat. And my chest was in so much pain that day. I basically slept most of the day and just had to rest. So it's been a very trying month, but I'm hoping that August will be the month for me. And as you'll see when we get to my plans for August, they're all new starts because I just need that little lift and excitement after sort of doing July. So enough about me. Let's get into what we all came here for, was the cross stitch. So despite everything that was going on in July, I did end up actually getting a lot done. So that's a good thing. So I'll start with my finishes first. So the first one is this Christmas fawn by Satsuma Street. As you can see, I cut her out, but haven't done her little handle yet, but she will go on my little ornament tree that I have. And my next two ones are the Mill Hill Santas. I am completely obsessed with these Santas, and I've made a commitment to try and do one once a month because I have a lot of them. I'm not going to say how many I have because you'll probably fall over in shock. So anyway, I have a lot of them, so I need to make that commitment to do them once a month. So this first one that was finished was he's part of the Mediterranean Santa series, and he is the Vineyard Santa. So he's very, very detailed with lots and lots of beads, but they're just a joy to stitch. As you can see, I need to cut him out and then make a little hanger for him out of beads. And then this next one, I can't remember which, the Celtic Santas, I think. So this is the Scotland Santa. He is very detailed as well, mostly with backstitch. So he has way more backstitch than some of the other ones do, but he is my cute Scotland Santa. Okay. And then I had another finish here because what I ended up doing is doing Christmas in July. So another online group that I am part of, it's Alberta Cross Stitchers. So you do have to be in Alberta to join the group. but it's a pretty low-key group, but they decided to do Christmas in July, and I was like, let's do that. So I finished Bethlehem. So this is a 3-part series. So they do Bethlehem, the shepherds, and then the 3 kings. So they have them all done in black, and I really hate stitching in black. So I chose a variegated blue. Oh, I was trying to remember the name of it before I sat down, because I was like, cornflower, I think it is. And I think it is Gentle Arts cornflower. And then I got started, sorry, this is so big. I'll just lift it up. Yeah, I got started on the shepherds, and I'm using a variegated silk thread for that. So I'm really happy I got done Bethlehem, because that has been in the queue to be finished for a long time. So there's that. And then I got done cocoa. So this is also part of a series. So there's coffee, cocoa, and tea. I've already done coffee, and so I just need to go with the tea. Now, this was supposed to be done in a pink linen, but I actually chose them with all the same colors because I thought, you know, this is dreams, putting them up all together in a kitchen. I don't know if that's going to come to fruition, but that's definitely a dream of mine. So I thought, well, wouldn't it be nice if they were all the same linen? So some of the white and the pink is hard to see, but I think that's forgivable. And then my last one, I am so happy. And I've actually bought a hoop to put it in. I just haven't had a chance to put it in. But this is my Every Child Matters. So if you're not from Canada, this is actually representative of our past with residential schools, which is quite a traumatic part of our history. And as a country, we are trying to acknowledge that and trying to move forward with the Aboriginal community together in reconciliation and in learning. So if you don't know about it, please feel free to read up on it. You can go to the Canada website and look at Aboriginal schools or Every Child Matters or Truth and Reconciliation Day. And if you're from Canada, obviously you know how important this is for us to acknowledge our past. So I am over the moon to get this, and I actually didn't have any hoops big enough, so I ordered some from Amazon. So I'm going to put it in a hoop because a hoop and a circle is very traditional for Aboriginal cultures. So I thought that would be the best way to display this in my home. Okay, so let's work on, you don't need to do any work. Let's look at what I worked on. Now, one of these isn't a Christmas in July piece, just because it was like the tail end of June that I worked on this. So I took this to one of my stitch days, Lucky. So it's just a cute little leprechaun. Now this is a whole series from Bent Creek that has different sheep that are all decked out for the holidays. So I've already done, and I think I've already showed it, the Canada Day one. It was actually for the US, but I switched it over to be more Canadian. And then there's a Thanksgiving one, an Easter one, and maybe a Valentine's Day one. I'll have to look to see, but that's what that is. And this is how far I got on that. So got the little leprechaun done, and then yeah, I just like to take something easy and small for the stitch day because we sit in like folding chairs, so I don't want to take anything too big and awkward that it's going to be uncomfortable for me to sit like that for the whole day. So there's that. And now all the rest will be Christmas. So I started on the December for my perpetual calendar. So I did change, sorry, there's a hanging thread. I like to keep my needle because this is a 26 needle. I find easier to work on perforated paper with. So I changed the colors because I didn't want traditional colors. I wanted it to be a little bit brighter. So I always like the idea of pink and teal for Christmas on a white tree. I've never done that and I probably never will, but I like the idea of it. So I got this far on it. And then as you know, if you've been here before, I am in love with nativity. So I have one that I'm doing on linen, and this one is the nativity from Mill Hill on perforated paper. So this is baby Jesus. So I've already done Mary and Joseph. So I thought this year I better get baby Jesus done. And I almost did. He's so close. Just have to do that little lamb. So I'll take him back out either in September, because I plan to do finishing in September, or for December, and he should be hopefully good to go. And then maybe I can figure out how I'm going to display them. I don't want to put them on the tree. I want a separate display, but I might end up putting them on the tree. That might be easier than trying to figure out how to get them to stand up. Okay, and then, oh, I lied. There's a straggler from June. This is Miss New Year's Eve Fairy. This was a kit by Mirabilia. So I worked a little bit more on her. I think I got all her dress done except the beads. And I think I put in all these beads you see here. There. Now the rest of them are going to be Christmas. Okay, so I started this one. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. I've had this in my stash forever, like years and years, but just have never had the time to start it. It is actually done in, does it say? Sullivan threads. So most of them I have are Sullivan threads. There's some DMC. This one, they do strongly suggest that you do it on linen or even weave, just because all the berries around the border are all, there's just so many quarter stitches that it would probably be very frustrating for you to not do it in linen. Like if you did an Ada, that would be the end of me. And they also suggest don't start in the middle. I totally start in the middle. I was like, don't tell me what to do. So no, just joking. So because it's words, I got quite a bit done on it. This might come back out in December, but perhaps not, because I have lots of Christmas ones that I haven't worked on yet this year. So there's that. And then this next one is Satsuma Street, Deck the Halls. So it's a whole banner, and I really was drawn towards this because very, very non-traditional colors like pinks and reds and teals and bright yellows. It just seemed so happy. And I did really well on this. I'll actually show you what I got done first. So, and then I'll try and show you the whole thing, although it might be impossible because it's so big now. So I got this whole section done, this whole bell done. So it was a joy to stitch. That bell, however, oh, I cannot count. I did that white like 3 times because I kept messing it up. And you look at it, you're like, how can you do that? 3 times, but I assure you I did. So I only now have the top part to do, which is the star. It's quite intense though, so I don't know if I can get that done when I bring it out in December, but I certainly will try, because this would be nice to have this as a fully finish. Well, not a fully finish, like an actual finish. And then I can see if I can do fully finished. So I'll have to show you in sections because it's just too big. But Satsuma Street, I adore her. Jody just has such a way with colors, and it's just a joy to stitch. Every stitch is wonderful. Okay, and then I of course worked on my son's stocking. So this is Father Christmas, and I'm almost done 2 pages now, which is very exciting. I just have a little bit to go on the 2nd page. So just this part right here. So today is Sunday, so I should be able to finish that up. So it actually looks really good. Oh, sorry, my last whip just fell over. 1 second. Have everything on a slippery table, I guess. So I am really enjoying working on this stocking. So until I get bored of it, I'll just keep working on it. And then once I get bored of it, I do have everyone else's stockings still needing work, so I'll just switch it out. I do like stitching on my projects for more than like 1 session. I generally try and do like 5 days. Like that just works best for me because I like to see progress and I like to spend some time with my whips. So just working on it for an hour or so just isn't going to cut it for me. And the last one that I worked on, I think it's called Santa of the Forest. I always mess up the name. Should probably write the name on the back. That would be helpful. And I got really good progress on this. He's a big guy. So I definitely want to take this out in December and work more on him. So I got all of this done, all of this done, all of this, all of this. So I'm really happy with my progress. And this is left blank because it's done in petite treasure braid. So I'm gonna put that in at the end just because I don't want it to be stretched in the Q-snap. But again, this is one too that every stitch is a joy. I love it. And it looks like there's like huge block stitching, but there's actually lots of shading going on. Like this right here has like, I think 3 different colors in it to get that subtle shading. So it's not just big block stitches, but it's not confetti either. It's sort of my happy medium. Okay. Great, so now we can move on for my plans. So since August has already started, I've actually already started some of these projects, but I'll let you know what I'm going to be working on. So this first one I'll show you is my poor shepherd that I wanted to get done in July, but that never happened. But here he is. He's a ghost. He has no feet, so he's just floating along. So I have to get him done this month. So he needs feet. He needs the rest of the ground, and then I can fully start working on the king that I started on. But yeah, this has been, I didn't work on him at all in July. He's been languishing, so he deserves to be finished for sure. Okay, and then my next Mill Hill Santa is from the Antarctic series, and it's leopard seal. I just love the color of his coat, so that's why I picked him. Okay, and I was working on him. So there is a thread. So, oh, let me use my board here. There. So there he is. I've got both his mitts done and just working on his jacket there. So cute. And then another one I want to start and finish is Mary Moose. This one just always made me laugh, so. And I'm from Canada, so you got to do a moose just like you got to do a goose. It's part of our culture. It's who we are. Okay, and then I want to try and start the Satsuma Street Sweater Weather. He is just too cute. I love him to bits. Okay, and I already started this one. So let me just take out some of the items. Okay, this is just a regular dimensions kit. It's actually Learn a Craft, so it's pretty simple. It's called Hanging with My Gnomies. I just thought that was cute, so I bought it. There's also a gnome one with a red truck, so I have that as well. So I thought this would be a fun one to start. And I did switch out the fabric, so this is how far I've done. And I have a little gnome needle minder. That's the only time I ever like match anything. Okay, so I did switch out, this is a 32 count linen, and it had a 14 count fabric, but this is the 14 count fabric. Now, I stitch on Aida. I have no problem with Aida, but what I do have a problem with is if your material can stand up like this, I don't want to be a part of it. I am far too old to stitch on fabric that is crappy, in my opinion. So again, I have nothing against Aida. My nativity, my Bethlehem that I showed you, is on 18 count Aida. So I'm not anti Aida. I am anti, like, give us some quality. So again, my life's too short. I don't want to fight with it. So I switched it out. I had this little piece of linen and I was like, I'm never going to use that for anything, and it fit perfectly. So there's that. This is going super fast because again, it's the Learn a Craft. It also came with a hoop that you can finish it in, but again, this hoop is so cheaply made that I'm sure if you used it once it would fall apart. So this is just gonna go in the garbage because it is not worth anything at all. And I did buy a whole bunch of hoops from Amazon, so I can find one that fits and one that I'll be happier with. Okay, then I just started this last night. It's Kathy Barrick's Noah's Ark. This is full coverage, but it's teeny tiny, as you'll see. So the background is actually all in black, but again, I don't really like doing black if I don't need to. So I think it's what, 939 or 938. That's that really dark blue. I think I might do that. I think it might have just a slightly better effect than the black. I'm doing this on a 20 count Aida just because I had some and it's full coverage. So I was like, that would be perfect because that will be like 40 counts. So this is what I got done just in a day, and I did a little bit this morning too. So I am terrible with borders, and if you've been here before, you know that borders are the bane of my life. So I did the border and then I did all these waves. So I know this is totally correct this way, and I'm working my way up the words just to reassure myself that this border is correct. Now I counted the border several times, but that means nothing, as we all know. So today I'm going to finish that 40 and count, and if it's the right amount, then it's going to be a miracle, and then I will joyfully stitch on this. But right now I can't really find a lot of joy because I'm so paranoid that I've made a mistake. Okay, and then the last one that I want to work on, oh, I didn't even put it in here. Sorry, 1 second, I grabbed the wrong thing. 1 second. I am just gonna leave you here if that's okay. Sorry about that. I was like, oh look, I'm so organized, and I am not. So this is a Stony Creek Fright Night, and it's a long banner. And again, I've had this in my collection for a really long time, and I was like, now's the perfect time to start. I did have to buy some linen though, because I didn't have anything big enough. And what I actually brought to show you was the Christmas one, which is really something I may do like next year, but this is the one that I'll be starting. And it comes with a whole bunch of specialty threads. Like, I think it might be glow in the dark, I'm not sure. And then it has like a little spider. So I'm gonna start at the bottom so I can get to that Frankenstein pretty quick. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be working on in August now. Ooh, things are starting to fall. Okay, so the reason why you're all here is I hosted a giveaway last month, and people responded, so that was always fun. Now, I was only going to do one drawing, but then I was like, you know what? You have a lot of things, Melva, you need to share. So I drew 3 people's names. So there's going to be 3 winners. And what I'd like you to do is just send me an email, stitchingwithmelva@gmail.com, and I'll reply to your comment and give you that in the comments so you know that you've won. And I just need your address, and then I'm excited to see where in the world these packages are going to be going. I know for sure where one is going, but the other 2 is going to be a surprise to me. So the first person who won is the Stitching Owl. So Karen, I'm so excited that you won. So again, when you send me the email, if you could put your first choice and second choice, and again, it's just going to be like first come, first serve. So that's why I want you to have the second choice as well, just in case the first choice has already been gone from the different patterns and kits you could choose from. And then the second person was Kitmar1667. I'm very excited as well. You had been so lovely in your comments saying that you've watched my videos since day 1. So I was so pleased when you won. And then the last one, oh, I might say this wrong. It's Gus Attic, MAMGUS Attic. So again, I'm going to comment on your comment. Please send me your first choice and second choice, as well as your address, and I will get those out as soon as possible to you. So congratulations again. So that's it. That's all I have for today. So I hope everyone has a great week and a great month of stitching, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.